I had read this somewhere कि some people die at 25 but are buried at 75. And I want to be that, even at 75, I should feel like 18 and be like 18. In fact, there was this joke people used to tell कि अगर बाल बना के जिस दिन आएगी ना anatomy viva में 4 मार्क ज़्यादा प्रोफेसर दे देगा. Boys had put it to my mind कि no one will ever marry you. शादी करनी नहीं है, but I always wanted kids. So I had decided कि surrogacy करूँगी. The joy I get from parenting, raising my children, the same joy I get also from my work. It's same. So when I'm stressed, I need an outlet, I write. But I don't write sad, I write humor. So enrolling for the first time in that New Zealand road trip solo drive was like enrolling for a course on how to live your life. Don't just shed the weight in pounds. Shed the weight of expectation. I feel the new definition of manhood or being macho should be not flexing your muscles, but it will be how safe a woman feels in your company.
Hello everybody, this is Kaustubh Moite and welcome to yet another episode of Doctors Outside Hospital. In today's episode, we talk to yet another interesting person who not only believes in the practice of medicine but also gives equal importance in the other extracurricular activities, telling us the importance of how a holistic life should be lived and not should be only restricted to your work and work. This person has started from a junior most position and was amongst a very few female doctors to begin in the region of Navi Mumbai, but now has climbed the steps or the ladders to being the head of department of pediatrics in Kokilaben Dhirubhai Ambani Hospital. We all say that we are living in an equalistic society, but this is not true once it comes to ground reality. How a female doctor has to go through various circumstances and how in spite of all these circumstances, she comes up to be as a winner. This is a perfect example. So without wasting much time, let's get into our conversation with our today's guest, Dr. Shilpa Aroskar. Thank you so much, madam, for accepting this wonderful invitation. And I understand that you have such a busy schedule. And as per the promise, you said that you will be taking 1 week and you lived up to the promise. So first of all, thank you so much. I was waiting a lot for this conversation to happen, and as I had already told you, this will be anything but academics. There are many questions which I have in my mind, and I'm pretty sure that like people who know you definitely want to ask this to you, but I don't know, there must be some a barrier because of which they might not be asking it. But yeah, before we begin this conversation, let's get to know you. So I've asked this to every single guest of mine, and I want this also from you. How would you describe Shilpa Aroskar as a person outside the hospital?
So first of all, let me thank you also, because usually I have my own podcast and I'm on the other side, and today I am on the other side, so it's feeling a little different to me, but I'm really feeling very nice to be here on your whatever, coffee with Kaustubh, whatever we say. And so I feel that describing oneself is very difficult, and लोग book की तरह होते हैं, उनको ना पढ़ना पड़ता है. But more or less, I think my life is been an open book. And if I have to describe myself, I think something full of life and zest. So एक craziness बचपन से ही था, जुनून की, पागलपन की. So whatever I do always, there is so much of zest, enthusiasm, passion, whether it's living life, whether it was practicing pediatrics, and whether it was things other than pediatrics. I had read this somewhere कि some people die at 25 but are buried at 75. And I want to be that, even at 75, I should feel like 18 and be like 18. And
as a journey, how was your childhood? How was your schooling? How was your initial medical training and your initial practice days, madam?
So, I was the youngest of all. I mean, my chachas and everyone. So the
pampered one?
Yeah, the pampered one, very pampered one. And I grew up in a very protective environment. So actually, I am GSB, but not Gaur Saraswat Brahmin. I'm Gujarati Saraswat Brahmin.
Okay.
So I'm Gujarati, married to a Maharashtrian Saraswat Brahmin. So I say I am modified GSB.
Okay.
So my father was a chartered accountant, and everyone, the full family, like everyone was commerce kind, and there was nobody from science kind. And raised in a very conservative family, I would say. But at the same time, we had a very open environment in the house, that it's not that we never discuss things with our parents and vice versa. So it was a very open environment. I did my schooling in Ghatkopar, and I was good in studies. I think that is the typical hay of everyone who gets into medicine, that we are usually the toppers in school and all. But I used to do a lot of extracurricular in school also. So whether it was painting or competitions, especially elocution. So there was this, हमारे स्कूल में बोलते थे कि लास्ट मिनट अगर कोई बकरा नहीं मिला ना, इसको किधर भी खड़ा कर दो, वो कुछ तो भाषण दे के आएगी और 1-2 प्राइज लेके आएगी. So I had good orator skills, I would say, from childhood. And I was a little bit of rebel also. That little bit is in my language. Maybe my father will not agree and he'll say बहुत ज़्यादा rebellious थी. So the one person with whom I have fought maximum my whole life is my father. And he's also the one person whom I've loved the most, and it's vice versa. So I had a lot of friends in school, and we used to have school elections and all those times also. So हर साल I would contest and also थोड़ा बहुत leadership का भी था since childhood. But yeah, I think it was a very happy childhood with a lot of friends, and grew up amidst a very happy family. And since I was in 6th standard always कि मुझे medicine नहीं, gynecologist बनना है. I don't know how it got into my head.
Okay.
So ever since I was in 5th or 6th grade, that I wanted to become a gynecologist. It was fixed. And then I finished my schooling, and 11th, 12th I did from SIS. Scored very well in 12th. Now the $1 million fight or question between me and my dad was, so I was getting engineering also because my PCB score was 98 something, and I was getting medicine. And पता नहीं क्यों मेरे my father always had that I don't want my daughter to go into medicine, because he always had this, that women who do medicine, the life ahead is not so easy. It's very tough, it's a very challenging journey ahead from all spheres. And as I said, he loved me maximum, and I fought with him maximum. So he was insisting that I go for engineering, and I never liked maths and physics. वो रट्टा करके marks आ गए, that was a different thing. So I remember that for 2 days I had to fill up the form, and parents' signature was required, and I used to put the form, and my dad used to move the form. So घर पे महाभारत चल रहा था, and after 3 days I was very stubborn also.
Are you still now?
I call it determined.
Okay.
That's my determination and willpower.
Okay. Use of good words. Okay.
Yeah, but my spouse will not agree to it. So finally I created a big ruckus in the house, and so he came down to one level, that not engineering, then you take up pharmacy, because he thought चलो लड़कियों के लिए at least pharmacy is not bad, but medicine नहीं होना चाहिए. But finally he relented, and my MBBS journey started. Again I was getting KEM, but I took Sion because 2 stations close by. I was very tomboyish. So this avatar of sari, bindi, clothes, even now when my MBBS friends, like we meet, so they'll say तबीयत तो ठीक है ना. So I had hair not longer, earlobe के नीचे बाल कभी आते ही नहीं थे. And I somehow had my best friends all boys only in Sion. So we were this gang kind of a thing, 5 boys, myself and one girl. So all the time I used to be, मुझे लग रहा है I have spent more time in boys common room at night than I have spent in girls common room. But 10 minutes भी if I used to be in LCR, I used to get so palpitation, because like they'll comb their hair and talk about jewelry and all. And I was very bad. I used to wear skirts, short hair. In fact, there was this joke people used to tell कि अगर बाल बना के जिस दिन आएगी ना एनाटॉमी वाइवा में 4 मार्क ज़्यादा प्रोफेसर दे देगा.
Okay.
So hair just like this only, barely used to comb. But I feel that 5 years of my MBBS was life changing in many ways, and it was not just getting the white coat or a degree, but it changed me a lot entirely as a human being. And till then I think my life was in a shield, in a cocoon. Like my parents raised us in a very protective environment. Like 9:30 के बाद घर नहीं आ सकते हैं, अगर आ रहे हैं तो father मेरे station पे he would be waiting on the station as soon as I get down from the train, हाथ पकड़ के घर ले जाना and also. But gradually, I think MBBS and I started staying in the hostel, and then it was like पूरा लड़की छूट गई. But I made one of my most beautiful bond or relationship in my journey. So friends in my life are very, very important, Kaustuv. So I always have this fight at home also, that you give a lot of time to your friends. Friends come first for you, family comes second. So I say it's not like that. I think I have friends who are so good that now they have become family for me. So it's like friends who are family. And I don't have a big tribe, like too many friends, or I don't like to unnecessarily, I don't enjoy now meeting people, like be it IAP or even parties, or like too much of socializing and having too many friends. But I've had this 5-6 friends, so we were all in the same batch, the C batch as per our surnames, and it's almost 35 years. And of course I got married also to my classmate. So my husband is my MBBS classmate, but he was not from the C batch, so we still treat him like
He's not invited to the parties.
Initially he was not, gradually he is, but थोड़ा सा ऐसा outsider ही हम रखते हैं. I never wanted to get married, so I was very famous in Sion because it was this boys वाला gang ना, like जल्ली kinds. जल्ली लोग शादी नहीं करते हैं.
Okay.
And plus these boys had put it to my mind कि no one will ever marry you. So I was like, मेरे से कौन शादी करेगा?
It's actually difficult for me to imagine now in retrospect, because I've always seen you like this.
Yeah, correct.
To think you from a tomboy point of view is very difficult.
For me also, sometimes like when I look in the mirror, but even now that my core is the gypsy person only. So if we are going for a drive or something at night, मैं घर के कपड़े में नीचे उतर जाऊंगी, slippers में गाड़ी में बैठ जाऊंगी. So then the 3 people will say, go up, change and come, otherwise we'll disown you. I think it was internship when Cupid struck, and I was like कि शादी करनी नहीं है, but I always wanted kids. So yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So I decided कि surrogacy करूँगी. So when Prashant proposed, he knew all these things because I was so loud in college. But I think when it has to happen, it has to happen. And he is the most genuine person I have ever come across in my entire life. And that's one trait of him that I still find it, amazing. I always wanted to take up Gynaec. So after my MBBS, he wanted to take up medicine. So I got MD Gynaec in Nair, and I was very happy. After 1 month of doing gynec in Nair, वो 6th standard से जो था कि gynecologist होना है, suddenly it changed. I said no, I can't spend my whole life at just one end of the person.
Okay.
I need to see the patient as a whole, not just the whole. And then I told my parents कि मुझे तो छोड़ना है. So you imagine what a torture. First of all, boyfriend लेके आई, फिर शादी उससे ही करना है, फिर like a tomboy, and then अभी MD gynec मिला तो वो छोड़ना है. So my father threatened that, I'll get you married to some Patel from California, because all the good Jews are in US and all. So I said no, I just can't do. So I quit MD gynec in Nair. It was, I think, India-Pakistan match tha. That was the last day, and I went and gave my resignation. Then I did medicine.
You have done medicine also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I didn't like that also.
Okay.
Stability for me in life is a problem.
Okay.
And everyone was so fed up by the time. My parents, Prashant's parents, because by the time officially, I used to go to his house because they were fine with our this. They didn't have a problem. But 48 hours in pediatric ward, and I'm calling up. There were no cell phones during our time, so public phone, coin wale phone se I'm calling my father and I'm calling Prashant and his parents ki this is it.
Finally.
मुझे लग रहा है मैं पैदा हुई to do pediatrics, and from that day till this day I don't think I have felt ever, and this is an honest confession, irrespective of whatever potholes were there in the journey in practicing pediatric or whatever, I have never felt it as a burden, or I have never felt that I have not enjoyed it. So this is, I usually tell my son also, ki ambition is good. It's very good to be ambitious. I also had a lot of ambition. But it's very important that whatever ambition you're pursuing, you should have fun in doing that. Which sometimes I feel today, I feel that people lack that. It's more of a running on the treadmill of life with lot of ambition to the extent that you are in the pressure cooker. Enjoying whatever you do is important, and I also know that the day I feel I'm not enjoying pediatrics, or I'm not enjoying PICU, or I'm not enjoying NICU, I will step down. I will not continue.
Excellent. So that just sums up the philosophy of what you follow, and many of your decisions must have been linked to this kind of philosophy. But very importantly, we really want to know, see, you're a very special guest for me because you're the first female doctor that I'm interviewing, and as a female doctor, I'm pretty sure we guys have a relatively easier, if not, I don't know whether to call it easier or difficult, but we have a relatively it's a made up way for us. Okay, I want to know from you first hand experience, how different is it for a female doctor, right from the junior most doctor to now being the head of department of pediatrics in Kokilabhen Hospital?
Definitely it is not at par or not at easy what it is for men, whether it was in the 90s or 80s when I was doing my residency, or now when I'm heading the department of a corporate hospital. I think there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference, and I also feel very sad and worried that whatever is the gap, I don't see it being bridged in the next 5 years or in the next 10 years. And I don't think that this is only the problem in our country. I would say it is globally. So I'll give you a few examples. So I started practice in Vileparla in a small nursing home. I was there for 6 months. So after 1 or 2 months, the owner used to tell me कि Saturday night आपको आना है मेरे साथ. I said for what? तो he said वो ना ऐसे parties रखनी पड़ती है. You have to meet GPs and all. And I was very naive that time. So I told my husband, and I told my father-in-law also. So then I mean, he was also my age, so, and we were new into practice, so we didn't know. So I remember going to this so-called party, and it was such a horrendous experience, you know. I mean, I'm not sure whether they behave like doctors or whether they actual doctors and all. And it didn't give me good vibes, you know. It was a dark, dingy club kind of a thing and all. And after 6 months, I quit that place because the whole experience was not good. I remember when I shifted to Navi Mumbai, when you know, I used to express that I want to do NICU, I want to do PICU when I become a consultant, and I used to express my desires and all. I was told by somebody that women को अगर practice करना है ना, तो सबसे अच्छा area is Kurla.
Why, sir?
Because it's a Muslim area, and women more, and women prefer coming to women. Okay. So I was very confused that was it a wrong decision coming to Navi Mumbai, but then I was stuck to this. Later on, after working as a clinical associate, I conceived and I was pregnant. So I went and told Dr. Nitin Kadam after my 7 months of pregnancy that I'm resigning because I want to justify now that I'm having a child. I will not be able to do 8 hours, 10 hours. And, you know, so much time as a full-timer I don't want. Fortunately, in my career, I would say I owe a lot to MGM and also Dr. Nitin Kadam because I grew as a person, I grew as a doctor. It gave me a lot of opening, you know, and a leverage to my career. So they were very happy with my work in NICU because I got all Dr. Prem Sheth's protocol. I think the first affectant in Navi Mumbai was given by me. Yeah. I also think your Baba had come to see. So me, Mahesh, we were, you know, those crazy kinds कि पिक्कू करना है, निक्कू करना है, fellowship थी नहीं, ज़्यादा आता नहीं था, but somehow I went to Bombay Hospital, I got all madam's protocols and I xeroxed, and that's how I think me, your father, we worked, we learned, we worked, we learned, and I think that's how we have practiced. You know, people ask work-life balance or something. So I always feel that it's actually a myth in a way because so I wanted to do NICU, PICU. We were struggling financially also. We were staying in a rental house, 4,000 rent. My pay was 5,800. My husband was earning 2,500. And we had a small child and no family support. I mean, my parents or his parents, we didn't have anyone to look after. So yes, I used to leave my son at home many times, or many times all three of us have gone at night for an NICU call. Now to somebody's eyes it might look ki, you know, what are ambitious women, what was a need ki bacche ko bhi raat mein bike pe leke aate and all. So it will look to somebody who is a spectator from that side that a very ambitious woman ignoring the child, you know, and coming for an NICU call at night, and it will look like not a work-life balance. That's why I said it's a myth. I got a fellowship in Singapore when my son was 2 years old. It was a 6 months fellowship. There's a women's hospital, I think it's a very big hospital there, and it was a 6 months fellowship in NICU. And I just randomly applied, I got selected. And then the $1 million question was, you know, leaving him and going. So I thought pros and cons. My husband was supportive, but at the same time, he alone managing the 2-year-old, he was not very confident. So finally, I refused. I never did that fellowship. Also in practice, I have seen that, you know, when somehow it comes from a male pediatrician, especially in critical care, I have seen NICU, PICU, whenever I used to counsel the relatives, thoda sa the way, you know, their body language is or their attitude is, or, you know, they would speak little in a louder tone because it's coming from a woman who is a intensivist or who is a neonatologist. But if the same thing comes from a male, they will not raise that tone. They will not raise that tone. And this I still see. after so many years also I still see. Last week we had one patient and my associate was counseling whole day, and then patient kept on asking, और क्या आगे, और क्या आगे, और कोई आएगा क्या? So she said, हाँ मैडम आएगी. नहीं हम पूछ रहे कि और कोई जेंट्स आएगा क्या देखने के लिए? Because it's 2 days, आप लोग कुछ कर नहीं रहे हो. So people will ask silly questions. Ragi from where to buy? How to cook? Do they ask this to male pediatrician?
It's like how much ever we say that our society is going towards pro-feminism, that's I think a very pseudo thing on a very superficial level. But yeah, as you're rightly pointing out.
And yes, it's not easy. I'm sure that every woman who comes into medicine, we also have a lot of ambitions, dreams. Very few of them are honestly able to fulfill also, because most of the time they have to sacrifice. If it is husband versus wife, it's always he is the breadwinner of the house. I have these all lines I've heard even in my personal life from family members also. Why? What is the need for you? He's supposed to be the breadwinner.
But I think things are changing also, if
Yes.
slowly.
Things definitely, it has changed a lot. There is no doubt. But somewhere down the line, I feel, because I had a lot of students. I used to teach in college also for a few years, and I'm still in touch with a few of them. So every time I meet them for a coffee or something, or even now here, I have associates, I have a team. We cannot say that we are at par. Whether let me ask you, you have a daughter now.
Yeah. Okay, it's going the other way now. Okay.
I think Rachna took some 1 year break or something. Yeah. And you've been going abroad, attending workshops, conferences. So I'm sure that that's a choice she has made. It's not that it's forced upon. I am also sure that she also has desires and ambition that, to go abroad or go to learn more, or to work more in terms of challenging cases, and because that's a joy, that the joy I get from parenting, raising my children, the same joy I get also from my work. It's same. It's same. And when you're in your 30s, your dreams are, sky is your playground. Sky is not the limit.
True.
But the nurturer or whatever, it's not a forced choice, but you can't compare. I'm sure that she will not be able to travel, or in the next 1 or 2 years, will be able. At the same time, somewhere down the line, she will have these thoughts in her mind that I could.
Thing is, like, okay, as you very rightly pointed out, there are various conferences which we both have to attend. But at times, she has a very major conference in which she is invited. I tell her, you go, but she takes a decision saying, nahi yaar, I cannot leave her.
Correct.
So it's not that she does have an option, but knowing the person that she is and what to prioritize more over what, I feel females have a much more a sane and a solved mindset than we complicated men.
Because at time it is our own emotions, obviously we are nurturers, so we are more emotional, we are less rational. I was president also in IAP, and even now when I'm heading the department here, it's not easy. Even after 25 years of practice, when I moved from MGM to here, MGM was not a typical corporate. This is a typical corporate. So lot of time there are situations where I feel that if there was a male head of the department, it would have not come like this, from the other end of the management, because that's the way we look upon, our society looks upon.
Leaving your work aside, how as a female doctor, how would you prioritize, or what are your 3 main top priorities leaving your work aside?
So life beyond pediatrics. I call it the 5 P's of my life. Of course, pediatrics and Prashant, my husband, and the family that we have built together. Then came the other P's: pen, So I think my writing, I always used to write, but it was never thought of publishing or anything till one day my son discovered on my iPad, this was I think around 10-12 years back, that I had written something, and he said, this is so beautiful and we should publish it, and I laughed. He found few publishers, he pushed me, and that's how my writing journey started.
Now you have 3 books on your name.
I have 3 books on my name. For me, it is effortless. I don't have to make effort when it is writing. So I discovered it late, maybe in my 40s. I always used to write in school magazine, in class magazine and all, even in college, even in MBBS and all, but never as a profession. And yeah, the trademark humor you will find everywhere in the blogs or yeah, that is there even in my day-to-day life. So even in the OPD and all, you know, if patient asks me some question and I get irritated, I will throw in a sarcastic pun. So a lot of time they understand, sometimes they don't understand, and even our home conversation is, when I talk, it's usually full of pun and all. So yes, but I'm very happy that it was encouraged by my son and of course the entire family. And today I have, it's as good as my stress buster thing. So when I'm stressed, I need an outlet, I write, but I don't write sad. I write humor because I feel life should not be lived very seriously. And the other painting, that came very late, I think just 4-5 years back. I used to do drawing and sketches and all, but the canvas painting and all I started doing recently since few years. So my weekends I do that. And the last P is become very addicting to me now, totally. And I think the next 10 years of my life I want to do only that. That is passenger. So traveling.
Okay, great. That's a very nice.
I always like to travel, even when we didn't have money, when we were building our life together. We used to take 3 holidays in a year. We earned 6,000. I remember going to Goa and staying in a room which was 150 rupees ka rent. Now if I think it was such a horrible room. We went by bus. But travel to karna hi hai. So that's one thing we have not compromised. But in the last few years, what my traveling has changed is I have got into this solo self-drive road trips. So initially, you know, traveling was seeing places or getting a break or spending time with your family or traveling with family, traveling with friends. But my son was preparing for NEET. I was that time president of IIP Navi Mumbai. Work had picked up a lot, and on all frontiers, there was too much. People still tell me or ask me that you are the best multitasker and how you manage. Now in retro, I feel that was the only regret I have, or the stupidity I did was multitasking. So yes, I did suffer a lot. I had lot of health issues, you know, and things were not looking very nice. There was no clarity. People told me do some art of living course, inner engineering. I mean, it was a big I did. I did art of living course. I did Sadhguru's inner engineering course, but man aur bhatakta tha. It was very difficult. One day I read some ad that self-drive trip to New Zealand and alone.
Okay, alone.
Alone. So you don't bring your spouse or your family or anyone. They gather around 8 to 9 people from all over the world, and you meet them at a particular place. You pick up your cars and then you drive. Taking that up has, I think it's next after writing that and after pediatric, that is the third game changer of my life, and it has changed my entire perspective to life as a human being also. So, you know, it's like a syllabus for my soul. So enrolling for the first time in that New Zealand road trip solo drive was like enrolling for a course on how to live your life. And when I said it home,
I can just imagine the response.
yeah, no one responded. Then second day again I said, no one responded. Then third day at dining table pe I said, hello guys, I want to do this. So, Mom, you can't even drive from here to Ghatkopar properly. So they got the globe and they put on the dining table and they showed me on the globe, this is India, this is New Zealand. Yahan se wahan. You want to drive? That too without, not going with daddy or not going with any known people, cousins or anyone. No way. So it went on for 2 weeks, 3 weeks and शुरू से वो rebelliousness और stubbornness तो है ही. Determined. So I came and I told Prashant ki I paid the money.
I've been to New Zealand with the same or the driving trip that you're saying. I've gone with my dad, and it's big money. I know that.
It is big money.
Yeah.
So he was so flabbergasted, and I remember he was not talking to me, and my children were also so worried. And coming to the gender bias difference, till this day, my mother and my mother-in-law keeps on asking me every 2 months, are there any issues between you and your husband because you do solo road trips?
Yeah, that's like,
Why that you want to go alone without him to a foreign country and that to drive? कुछ तो problem है तुम दोनों के बीच. You have some problem. Something has happened between two of you. So, if a man goes, I'm sure they will not ask. Adventure. Yeah. But if I go for a solo trip, there's something in my marital life not going. So when I'm driving the car, I feel I'm driving my life. When I'm behind the steering wheel, because when you're driving there are potholes, sometimes you take wrong turns, but I feel when you get lost and you take wrong turns, you find the more scenic routes. Does it sound similar to life?
that is life.
That is life. We plan something. I always plan to practice in Juhu or somewhere, but I landed up in Navi Mumbai. But it has turned out so beautiful journey for me here in the last 25 years. So you navigate on your own, like you are navigating your life. You have to balance. थोड़ा इधर उधर भटक गए focus, तो accident हो सकता है. You have a flat tire, you have to fix it. जब मैं लौटी, he was there at the airport to pick me up.
Oh, he came.
He came. And when he hugged me, I thought it was not the macho this that he didn't want me to go. It was the concern. It was the concern. So I thought I troubled him so much that in that 14 days he aged by 5 years. But they realized after I came back that I was such a different human being. It changed my perspective in day to day towards living life, towards people, towards cribbing for small things in life, because it gives you such a wider outlook of life. So then now they are fine with it. In fact, they say कि
Please go.
हाँ सिमरन एक बार एक ट्रिप करके आ जी ले अपनी जिंदगी. After that I did Kyrgyzstan. So I remember मैं जब driving, when I went to take the driving license, he was like, which stan is this and why you want to go? I said, your job is just to give me the driving license. I'm not going to answer this question. But Kyrgyzstan क्यों जाना है मैडम आपको? I remember one day we started to drive at 7 in the morning, and we've been told. So there is one person who leads. Okay, so she told us that this is the most difficult drive of the entire journey, entire 10 days. But if you all manage this, then what you'll get to see is words will not be able to describe it. It's a very difficult drive. Steering, both sides were all valleys and no proper road, and you feel thoda bahut like so many moments were there where you feel ki oh God, little bit here and there the steering your hand or on the clutch and you are going to go. It's so you drive. The moment makes you feel it's the last day of your life.
Okay.
And when we reached the destination, it was at 11,000 feet something. Got down of the car and tears rolling from the eyes. What we saw there, the sight, it was so beautiful, so beautiful. So you feel this is the world, and God has given us a birth of human being in this world on earth, you know, and there's so much. And when you see people from all across life, being medicos, we spend a lot of our social life also with doctors. So we know very less about people from other parts of life. And when I do these trips, I go into shops, and you know, I have a habit of talking a lot, conversing a lot. A lot of time even Kyrgyz language is a big problem. I stayed in a homestay in a family house who was so poor, actually they were really very poor, but the meal they served, you know, sitting down, and it was just rice and pumpkin soup, but such a sumptuous meal. They were such a happy family. It's different. It changes your perspective, outlook. So it's madness that has got into it, but that's I want to keep on doing more and more. Himalayas, Spiti Valley. I'm doing Iceland now.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's not now. I think we are way away from the female, like feministic way now. Not only the female doctors, but even the male doctors watching this are pretty envious of your life right now. What all amazing things you're doing. Excellent, madam. So apart from that, like talking about your hobbies now, you have just, these are all your hobbies. Do you feel everybody is as lucky as you to fulfill their hobbies? Or to reframe this question, do you feel everybody knows the importance of nurturing their hobbies?
That's a very beautiful question actually, because again coming back to medicos, you know, I think we spend so much years in studying and then establishing our name, to carve a niche, our career, that, and then of course the home frontiers also. So this awakening doesn't come till you are in your 40s or 50s. I don't think there's anyone who didn't have a hobby in school, in your childhood or in your college days and all. It's just, you know, वो बोलते हैं ना, पुरानी किताबें वो ट्रंक में डाल देते हैं, and then after 20 years dust निकाल के, it's like that. You have name, fame, money, luxury cars, everything, but something is missing. And I think that is a time when I've seen many of my friends going back to their hobbies, which I think we regret.
Should have started a bit.
Yeah, I feel that it's, so talking about balance, then this is balance. You cannot have a work-life balance, it's a myth. But finding the balance in the imbalance तो है ही, ठीक है, वो जो imbalance है उसको accept करो, लेकिन उसमें से छोटा सा अपना, you know, small those rivulets you have to find. And it's so very important that you don't give. And I don't think you need lot of money, like you are saying you are the lucky ones. Yes, I'm doing this solo traveling which are expensive, but that is now, like I said, you know, there are so many treks where they are not expensive, but it's very important that you nurture it. I used to keep a haversack bag, and many times, you know, मुझे लगता था कि मैं इन लोगों को छोड़ के रात में that's such a mean thought, you know, so mean. I used to feel, being a woman, I'm having this thought, I used to feel so guilty. But I used to feel like running away for 2 days because it was so overwhelming at times. Children in school, financial days of practice, and then no time as spouse for each other, and then parents getting old, so taking care of them, everything becomes so overwhelming that you just feel burdened from everywhere. But suppose if I had my hobbies, you know, my writing, you know, whatever, my music or traveling or anything, then that helps you to sail through this in a
What I feel is key, I think everybody is going through this, but you're just articulating it well so that you're talking on behalf of everybody, is simply what I would conclude. Quick last two questions. First, if you had an option of going back 30 years, 3 decades of your life, what message would you give to that tomboy Shilpa of how your life is going to turn up to?
I don't plan my life at all. Very impulsive person. My message would be that just be you. And as easy as this word sounds, believe me, 99% of the people, they change internally and externally also so much in their journey, you know, in the decades of life, to the extent that they themselves don't realize also that they are changing. So we change. Let us be honest that कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा सा people pleasing रहता है सब में, and sometimes you change because you know, you want to change because you want to acquire something, and sometimes you change because the circumstances in life are such that you have to change. But I feel circumstances are not in your hand, but the core is there, internally what you are. Just be you. And this especially to women I want to say, you know, because I always feel women carry the burden of too much weight of expectations. I always say, don't just shed the weight in pounds, shed the weight of expectations. And वो guiltometer बहुत beep करता है, like Rachna has chosen this because there is a guiltometer inside. But sometimes you have to hush or shut that guiltometer.
Actually, you answered my second question also, because I was going to ask that what final comments would you give all the female doctors, but you answered that question as well. But excellent. Thank you so much, madam. This was a wonderful conversation, and I'm pretty sure that all these assimilated, well-articulated thoughts reach to the masses, and this will be primarily focused to all those female doctors. I know the past few weeks, few months of all the horrendous events that have been happening, I don't want to get that over here, but things need to change, and it is not one person who needs to change, it's the whole society who needs to change. Absolutely. So yeah, thank you.
So you know, I just told my son that he's very fond of, he focuses a lot on gymming because he feels that when he's working out, like, you know, he gets clarity of thought. So like, it's not just workout for him. And when he attended the first normal delivery in his MBBS, he came home and he touched my feet. So, and I was just casually reading something. So I said, "Kya hua? Theek to hai na?" So he said, "Mom, today my respect for women has gone so way high because I actually witnessed how it is." So I feel the new definition of manhood or being macho should be not flexing your muscles, but it will be how safe a woman feels in your company.
So
And yes, and I just want to tell the girls that voice yourself, whether it's your spouse, bolo, you know, most of the time they don't talk, we don't talk, we just tolerate, let go because of our emotions. But it's very important that we talk, we voice, and we create our own better future and better lives. I really had a wonderful time because मुझे लग रहा है कि I have opened lot of pages of my life and you managed it very well.
Excellent. Thank you so much.